Good morning, it's Lisa Bergin coming to you on Wednesday the 14th of February 2024 for a mid-month Flosstube update. So good morning, hope you're all well, and thanks for all those that have commented on my previous video and for all the new subscribers I've had in the last month or so. Glad that you want to spend a little bit of time watching my videos. So I'm just going to give a quick mid-month update. I haven't done as much stitching as I might have because I had my husband home for a week, so I just didn't get to do as much stitching. Basically a week got pretty much written off. Anyway, so I'll let you know what I got done. So I'm just going to go in the order that I've got next to me. So the first thing I'm showing you is, for some reason, I'm not quite sure how it came to be in February's selection, but it got there. I worked again on Seashell Treasures, so it got another 110 stitches put into it, and this is where it is now. As I said in my previous video, it's not it's a small stitch, but for me it hasn't been the easiest of stitching. I seem to make mistakes every time I work on it, although this last time I didn't, thank goodness. So that's my first project I worked on, and I worked on that for 3/4 of an hour. Then the other non-whip go, non-focus stitch that I've worked on so far this month is this one, which is Toy Shop by Gold Collection Petites. This one is much easier petite so far, and this one I started at the back end of last year. It was a Christmas present the previous year, I believe, and this is where I am on it now. So I did I had like one line going down, so I filled in some more and going across, and that had 111 stitches added, again in 3/4 of an hour. Then my whip go piece, my first whip go piece for February, is Pink Roses from Linate, and my target for all my whip go this year is 750 stitches. Well, I managed to finish that last night, and I have done, there's my book, I've done 762 stitches in 4 3/4 hours. And where is top? Find top. Right. So here we go, and I've been filling in the rows, mainly working in the bottom area, and so if we look on the picture, it is this, I'm here, I'm on that bit here, this bit here, yeah, so sort of going towards the center of the rows. That's where I've been working. So yep, so that's that one. And then my small that I'm working on at the moment is this bookmark, which is Duchess bookmark. I'm hoping to get it completed next month, and because I've got the back side to do as well, and then join it all up. And this is where I am, and I've worked on this month for 3 hours, putting in 553 stitches. So I've had quite a good session on this since last time that I showed you it. And then my main sort of focus piece, that's not a full coverage, that I want to get completed this year, is Anton Uffindale. Now this is the one that's really been affected by my missing week, as it were. So this is Anton Uffindale. As I said previously, I started this when I was 50. I'm now 55, and I want to get it completed this year. I think last time I showed it to you, I was working at the top. It's on my Q-snap, so I'm not taking it off. And this is where so this is the bottom of it. And I've been working, over here on the right hand. Yes, definitely over here on the right hand side. So I've been working up this tree section here and putting on the bits and pieces. And I'm hoping to get at least this page completed this month. Yeah, so I was working at the top last time, and I was not enjoying it. So I thought, go to the bottom and work your way up the chart, as opposed to working from the top and working down. So that's what I'm doing. I'm really avoiding the satin stitch, I think, and the 1/1 wording, but as long as it gets done, doesn't it? So anyway, so this is where we are with Anton Uffindale. The lighting in here isn't very good, I'm afraid. It's actually stitched on cream 40 count Newcastle, but you're getting a slight sort of greeny tinge, I think, reflecting off the walls, but never mind. Anyway, so that's that. And this one, so it hasn't had much in it so far. Where have I put my book now? Oh, beside me. So this one, I've only worked on it on 3 evenings for a total of 4 3/4 hours and 827 stitches. So that's not very good on that one. Then something that I have actually managed to get done, and I'm really happy, is so I'm working on Long Dog Sampler's Saga, and I want to get it finished in 2027, so I don't have to change the date on it. And it is on here. And where did I found it the other day when like I said last time, I was hunting and I couldn't find the 2027, and I knew it was on here, and I looked after and I found it. But can I? Oh, there it is. Yes. So 2027 is in the submarine. I knew it was on there somewhere. I was looking and looking last time, and I just couldn't find it. And then the initial down the bottom, well, one of my initials is one of the letters. So I just shove that across, and then I have to make room for my surname. But other than that, there's not much alteration needs doing, which is fine by me. Because I remember on Death by Cross Stitch, I had to do quite a bit of jiggling getting my initials in. And I don't have the brain capacity at the moment for that. Anyway, now so that said, so my goal, there was 25 pages in this chart. Before Christmas, I did 1 page, which left 48. So I have to do half a page a month to get it finished in by the end of 2027. And I achieved I've now finished. Yes, I've now finished page 2. I did 1 page before Christmas, and yeah, so I've now finished page 2. So I did half page, well, I did slightly less than half a page in January, but here we are. Sorry for the creases, but this is where we are. And I've got a little trailing thread because I wanted to put a marker in for when, oh, look at that green, look where the light changes. There you go, that's better. It is red. It's DMC 115, is it? Oh, I know I've got it wrong again, probably. You know the one I'm on about. It's the multicolour one with dark, goes from like a dark red to a light red. And I have when I'm working on it, I have 2 strands going, one in the darker section and one in the lighter section, so that it mixes it up a bit, so we get variation. And what I tend to do is I load up a load of I call them strings. They're not strings, obviously floss. I load up about 10. I work it in a hoop, and I just attach them to the hoop, and then I just pull one out and work one in, and then work all 10 in gradually over my stitching session, and I just find it goes quicker for me that way. Anyway, so that's where it is now, the first 2 pages up here. So yeah, that's where I am. So I'll be starting on page 3 in March. So March and April we'll see page 3 done. So Saga, where is my, here we go. Saga I worked on, took me 8 days to complete. I worked on it for 15 1/4 hours, and I put in 2,329 stitches now in January. Let's go back to January's monthly tracker. Yeah, I only did 9 hours in January and 14.95. So it wasn't quite, hadn't done quite half. This time I've actually divided, because I didn't work it sensibly in the second page. The first half of the second page, I worked it and then I thought, well, that looks about half. But this time I'm folding it in, I'm doing the top half first and then the bottom half second, so I know exactly that I mean, the stitches aren't going to be equal, but at least I know it's half of the actual stitch area. So, you know, just a bit more practical as opposed to randomly thinking you've done a half page when you haven't, because I say that also ate into the time that I should have been spending on Anton. So I normally only work on that on the weekends, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get it out of the way. And I think going forward, I'm just going to try and get the things I know I need to get done out of the way first, and then whatever's left I can divide up between other things. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's that one. And then we're on to the final 2 projects that I've worked, which are my full coverages. So the first one you're going to see is Bedtime Story from Pain Free Crafts. And this one I've worked on I've only started working on it this week because I've lost a week, and I know I wasn't going to hit my target if I didn't start doing it little. So I've been putting in at least 100 stitches a day. So in the last 3 days, I've put in 323 stitches. over 2¼ hours. And this is where I am. So, and there's the whole picture. So yeah, so carrying on working in this rather boring section of lots of browns, but it's working in the diagonal. It goes very quickly. Yeah, so hopefully by the end of the month I will hit the target of 1645, because that, if I can get 1645 in a month, I will complete this second row, which is what I'm aiming for. And then my final project, again, I'm nowhere near where I should be by this stage of the month, and that's Early Snowfall, which looks like this, this is from Artisy. This is the Wolves. It's the Early Snowfall Large, so it's the big one. It's 550 by 400 and something. It's a big old beast. This one I'm aiming to get completed by 2026, end of 2026. Yes, I've got 3 years to get it done. Excuse me, I'm taking a quick slurp of my water. Yeah, by the end of 2026. So I've worked on that only 6 days so far out of 14. So there would have been 2 days. So potentially I could have, so half the time I would have worked on it. I normally would have worked on it by 12 days by now. I've only worked on it 6. So yeah, so this one I'm probably going to be working on the rest of the month. Anyway, so far I've put in 1269 stitches, and that's 7.5 hours. And just before I show you it, I'll just give you my total so far at the halfway, well, not quite the halfway point, we're at day 14, and it says 29 days this month. It's not quite the halfway point, but never mind. So far I've done, I've stitched 39 hours, done 6,284 stitches, which gives me a stitch rate of 161 stitches per hour. So it's above my average was last year, so I'm quite happy with that. And so where do we go? We go this way. I might have to move back a bit so you can get it all. Do we see it all? Oh, we can see it all. There we go. All its glory. I've really been sort of moving around on this. I haven't stuck in one place, but I am settled now over here, because here is because I'm behind and I want to get the stitches in the time I've got left. I'm working here because there's plenty of where I can do long runs of colour. So that's where I'm working at the moment on this right hand side. I will next month, when I get back to stitching properly, come in and do some of this bit where the wolves are. So yeah, so it's slowly progressing, you know. It's, as I say, I would normally be close to hitting my target by now. 12 days would be, yeah, I'd be about 1,000 stitches to go by now, normally. Whereas I've got 2,000 stitches to go, so I'm behind. Anyway, so that's all the stitching. I thought I would just mention the 2 books that I've finished this month, as I know some people like it. So I finished an audio book. Let me find the picture. I finished an audio. So this is the audio book I finished, called Wayward by Amelia Hart, and narrated, doesn't say who it's narrated by. The narrator was very good. Anyway, this book is so it's about 3 women who are linked by family, so they have a family link, and it's set in 3 timelines. So it's 1619, 2019 and 1942, and it sort of covers themes of, well, the oldest part, she's accused of being a witch, and they all have sort of perhaps some internal power, and it's very much to do with female resilience, and also a bit to do with nature and things like that. I really enjoyed it. So although it does have the contemporary storyline, I would call it a historical novel, because two of the timelines are historical. I think the strongest timeline is probably the earliest one. The wartime one, I know why the author put it in, but there might have been a way that you didn't actually need it. And then the current timeline, this is a woman who is fleeing a sort of controlling relationship, and she ends up at the house that her grandmother, I think, owned, or might be great aunt actually, but anyway, a relative, the 1942 timeline owned, and she refines herself and, you know, gets her life under control. Anyway, so if you like that sort of thing, it was definitely very, very, I enjoyed it. You know, it's about 10 hours long, so at time and a half, about 7.5. So you could, you know, an hour a day, you can listen to it in about a week. It was a good one. And then the other book that and also I also started another book at bed called, which is a historical romance, I suppose, time slip romance, called Shadows in the Ashes, and it's set in like modern times and then ancient Rome. And the reason I put it down because the initial part of it was very similar, fleeing a sort of abusive relationship. I thought, oh, I don't want to have the same sort of storyline going on at the same time, so I put that one down to finish listening to Wayward, and I will pick the Shadows in the Ashes up again shortly. And the other book I finished is a sort of thriller, I suppose you call it. And so this, I'll just read the synopsis to you and I'll give my view. So, what would you do if you're pushed to the edge? When a group of old friends reunite for a remote glamping holiday, they think they're in for a relaxing long weekend near the Cornish coast. But it's only a matter of time before their 20 years of friendship starts to crumble. A storm approaches, and as rain lashes against their tents, they realise one of their party is missing. There's no phone signal, no way out, and no one is coming to help, and it's not long before a body is found. Do they really know what their friends are capable of? Well, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I've read Hannah Rochelle before, and it was more of the previous one was more of a mystery, where this is more, I'd say more like crime thrillery. And the way it's written is so it goes back. It takes place over a weekend, and so you see it from various members of, you know, because there's a cast list at the beginning, and so you're told, and there's a map also at the beginning, so you're told the point of view that you're getting this story from. So, for example, one chapter says it's from Kip's point of view. And then it will say Sunday afternoon, and it flips back and forth. So what actually happened is being revealed slowly over the course of the book, and you're very much at the beginning pushed towards thinking that a certain person is the person that's done whatever. You don't even know what's happened. So all you know is that someone's gone missing, but you don't know where or how, when initially, and so it's very much written that you're thinking it's this one person. Of course, it isn't that person. That's a red herring, but it's the way it is written. To be honest, I usually twig who the person is. I didn't in this. I should have seen it. In hindsight, as soon as it was revealed, I thought, of course, it's that person. So I'm a bit off my game, I think, because normally I would have picked it up because I read so many of these sort of things. But if you do like that sort of thing, it was well worth a read. So anyway, so that's the 2 books that I've read. So that's it for today. Nice, short and sweet. I will be back hopefully on the 1st of March, I suppose. So once I've got my final wrap up and and stats and all that malarkey, and hopefully I will have hit my target on early snowfall, hit my target on bedtime story, hit my target on Anne Tob. Also, I've got my second whip girl to do, which is Victorian Charm. I haven't brought it down because I haven't started on it yet, and ideally I want to get 100 stitches into at least another 3 projects from my non-whip go non-focus pieces. So we'll see. We've got including today, so 14, about 16, 17 days, something like that, till the end of the month. So we'll see. But until next time, take care.